Hi guys, welcome back to the G Garage. We're going to do a little bit of measuring today, and I want you thinking about what tool you're going to be using. Now, there's a section that goes with it in your textbook. You can do that, and it's really identifying which tool that you're going to use to measure a particular object. Now, obviously, if we were going to measure this pen, for example, okay, we could use a tape measure, but we don't have to. If we don't have something else, I'm probably not going to use this to measure this. Okay. Would I use my yardstick to measure this? Well, that would become a little cumbersome. Okay, it's going to be a bit tricky, so probably not. And realistically, what I'm going to use is my ruler to measure this. Okay, and we've measured this before. We know how to do it. Okay, I'm going to line that up on the 0, not on the end of the ruler, on the 0, and I think it was, yep, it was almost 5 inches. Okay, almost 5 inches. Now, if I wanted to, I'm just looking around my garage for something to pick up. Let's see, if I wanted to measure this. Okay, well, here is a Nerf gun crossbow toy thing. Okay, now if I wanted to measure this, I'm then deciding on which tool I'm going to use, and I could use this, but that's really tricky. You can see, obviously, I can see straight away it's going to be bigger than 12 inches. So probably I could use this, and this is going to be pretty easy for me. Okay, once again, it's just, this actually is different. The yard starts right there. So I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to look, and I'm going to say that that is 30 inches. Okay, that's 30 inches. That's more than 2 feet. Which would be obviously 24 inches. So choosing the right tool. Now you may not have one of these at home, and that's okay. You don't need to worry about it. The exercise in the book gives you an option. Okay, so you can just choose which one you're going to use. Obviously, if we were in the classroom, you would have all 3 of these things. You'd have a ruler, you're going to have a yardstick, and I'd give you a tape measure too. But we're not there, so we're just doing the best we can. Now, if I wanted to measure me, okay, if I wanted to measure the height of me, that's going to be pretty tricky to measure using this small ruler. Okay, and we're going to have to like do it, mark on my leg with a pen, and then move it up, and then mark again and move up. Okay, very easy to make mistakes with that. Okay, it's going to be less accurate. We could use one of these. Once again, if you've got a couple of them, it's going to be really easy. Hopefully you can see this. It's going to come up to, like, turn it around. It's going to come up to here. Once I'm going to mark there. Once again, there's room for, there's definitely room for error here as I move this up and down. So we could use this. However, probably the best thing to do would be to use, for the height of me, probably a tape measure, okay? Because I can very easily put this to the ground, okay? Put my toe on it so it doesn't move. Try to anyway. Okay, and hold that against it. Obviously I'm not on my tippy toes, which is what everybody wants to do because they want to be taller. Okay, and it's approximately there, 70 inches. Okay, 70 inches. So this is going to be the most accurate for measuring me. So task today is thinking about the tool that you're going to use. So decide on which tool that you would use, and then estimate, and then you can measure. So 3 things to do. Decide on the tool. Are you going to use a ruler, which is up to 12 inches, 1 foot? Are you going to use a yardstick, which is up to, well, actually, this one's a little longer, actually. A little longer than 36 inches, actually, this one. This is actually a meter stick, so it's a little bit longer. But would you use a yardstick? goes up to 36 inches. Or are you going to use a tape measure, which goes up to, well, actually this goes up to 25 feet, actually tells me. Okay, so that's a lot of inches. Okay, so think about which tool you're going to use. Estimate. Remember, that's going to be about an inch. Okay, that's going to be about an inch. A foot isn't the measurement of your foot. A foot, a good example, probably it's a little bit longer for me. But if you make your, obviously this is 12 inches, it's about a foot, and your arms are going to be a little smaller than mine. A foot, a good way to think about it is make a fist, and then from your fist, the top of your fist, not fingers extended, but your fist down to your elbow is going to be about a foot. Mine is obviously bigger. Mine is probably an extra 2 inches or so. Okay, so that's a good estimate for a foot. That's a good estimate for an inch. Then a yard is going to be 3 of these. 2, 3. So think on that. It's lesson 3 in the textbook. Chapter 11, lesson 3. I can't remember what page it is off the top of my head. So I will upload that as well, so you've got that to go with it. Can you, if there are examples in the book that you don't have in your house, choose something else, approximately the same size. And just cross out the picture of what it is that you were supposed to measure, and then just choose something else which is about the same size. Ultimately, making smart choices about the tool, educated choices about the tool, and really, how do we do that? We're trying to make it easy for ourselves, so there's less error. And then estimating. Okay, the more you estimate, the better it is. Will your estimates be exact? No. The chance of you doing that is so slim. So if your estimates are the same as your measurements, I probably won't believe your estimates. Okay, so, but as you become accustomed to those lengths, okay, the distance between one point and the next, then your estimates will get better. So go for it, go have some fun.